Starting and finishing in Tanunda, Health Partners Stage 2 of the Santos Tour Down Under. The gun firing before they get underway and heading towards Mangles Hill for the first time. 3 occasions going over Mangles Hill, a climb that has featured regularly throughout the 25 editions of the Santos Tour Down Under. And not surprisingly, the man from the breakaway on stage 1, Fergus Browning of the ARA Australian national team on the attack. Also happening early was a crash back in the main peloton amongst the victims in the fall. The overall race leader, the ochre jersey, Sam Welsford, battered and bruised, but persevering. Across Mangles Hill for the first time, Fergus Browning picking up maximum points ahead of his breakaway companions, Patrick Conrad and Jörg Zimmermann. They got out to a maximum lead of just over 2 minutes. Heading through to the first of the zip track intermediate sprints, it was Patrick Conrad getting the better of Zimmermann as Fergus Browning was content with 3rd place. His big focus was the FX King of the Mountains classification. Back in the peloton, they were being sure not to get distracted by the kangaroos who would join the famous grapevines of the Barossa Valley, as it was Sam Welsford's teammates from the Red Bull Bora hansgrohe squad who were at the front of the field making sure that the break didn't get too out of control. Heading back in through Tanunda, and it was Browning who was leading the charge for another look at Mangles Hill and more points in the race for the FX King of the Mountains classification. For the young Australian on AR Australian national team, mission accomplished. Zimmermann also, though, was content with his time out in front and looking for the time bonuses, a rider who is a contender for the top 10 in the general classification. In the second of the zip track intermediate sprints, it was Zimmermann who got the maximum points and, importantly, got the maximum time gain. So 5-second time gain on the stage for Jörg Zimmermann. Bell lap, the breakaway had been caught, and they're on to Mangles Hill for the final time. And the non-sprinters were trying to put distance between themselves and Sam Welsford. Juan Pablo Lopez from the Lido Trek team, he was one of the first to go on the attack. There was then a flurry of responses coming from the peloton as Welsford had teammates back for supports. Chris Harper, one of the locals in the purple colours of Jaco Olula, he too was trying to get into the thick of the action as Javier Romo picked up the maximum points for the FX King of the Mountains jersey the final time over the top of the hill. From there, it was 20 Ks to go to the finish. Could Welsford get himself back into contention? The answer to that question was yes. The next question was, could he go back-to-back with double victories? With a kilometre remaining, it was his teammate Danny Van Poppel who was on the front doing the lead-out. It was then Welsford who opened up the afterburners. There was a tight squeeze behind him, but another convincing win for Sam Welsford. Second position went to Arne Morat of Intermarché Wanty. Rounding out the podium was Brian Coquard, the Frenchman from Cofidis. And congratulations from Noeline, his mother, at the finish line. The whole Welsford family relieved. Another stage victory, and he's on top in the general classification. Welsford will head into stage 3 wearing the ochre jersey.